So I'm going to show you how we add crops into the system, which is one of the key components of what we record within LiveFarmer. So the first part is to enter the ingredient or the seed that we use for those particular crops. So once we've entered the ingredients, we'll be allowed to use our seed stocks within the system, so it'll give us a stock control facility. So if I go into the ingredient, I click on the blue plus, and I'm going to add spinach as an ingredient for this particular business detail. So the business detail allows us to segregate multiple farms and only show the relevant information per farm. So I've added spinach in as an ingredient now. If I come back out to master setup and go into crops, so I click on crop and I can add a new crop. So my crop category is spinach. So I can go into my crop category, and in this case it's a baby leaf, and my crop is baby spinach. Now I can set up different levies in the system if you actually have to pay levies over to government agency. In this case we'll leave that one blank, and I can associate my crop with a colour. So this particular facility allows me within the system to show different crops and different colours on the maps once I've planted them. I can give it a chart of accounts code again for reporting purposes, and the base rate for the crop normally would be 100% production. The tax type in this particular case would be non-vatable, and I choose my ingredient of spinach. So I just tap on spinach, and I can specify if I plant them on a certain number of rows on a bed. So in this case, I'll actually predefine that as 26 rows if we're using a particular bed width. So the sales forecast type for spinach is going to be in kgs. I want all my forecasts to come out in kgs. And again, I can associate it with a business branch, or I can just give it a crop code. So another important thing here for our forecasting is the yield measurements. So in this particular case, I'm looking at kgs, and the yield area, it could be linear meters or more commonly in square meters. So I've got a default shelf life after harvest, which I can fill in, and that will be used in the system later on, or I can just leave it blank in this particular case. So I then save the record, and I've now set up spinach as a crop, baby spinach as a crop in my system.